What is up, guys? My name's Ryan,
I'm Quinn.
and we're with Pool Party Cards. And today we're going to talk about how you can make money in sports cards and our top 3 revenue sources going into 2023. Now, these are in no particular order, but I think you can probably extract some value from these, whether you're a new collector or new dealer, or you're someone that's been experienced and well-versed in the hobby. So, starting off with number 1, Quinn will get us started.
Oh, that would be card shows. Card shows are a great way to start selling sports cards if you just got into it. What you want to do is maybe hit up a show, talk to whoever's in charge. If you don't know who is, just talk to some dealers and they'd probably point you in the right direction.
You can also find it online.
Yeah, online. There's a lot of websites for that, and I don't know the name of a single one.
Facebook would be
Yeah,
the first
Facebook.
starter.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
And yeah, talk to whoever runs the show. Talk about getting a table. If you only need one table, where we're at like a mid-sized show, it'd be about $40 to $80. A lot of vendors or people who run the shows also rent you showcases, so you can put your higher-end cards in there. We like to make sure you have everything price tagged. We used not to price tag things, but we realized it's a lot more approachable for people to come up and just see what you have on it. Also, don't be afraid of comps. There's some people who get so mad when people look up a price because they think it's like attacking them, which is stupid, because you shouldn't be offended if something that you priced is selling for less.
It's all transparency there.
Yeah, but if you don't want to sell something for a certain price, just say no in a friendly manner, because there may be someone else that person wants, but never try to come off as aggressive. So that's just a great way to build relationships. People may want to trade with you after that, things like that. And sometimes people come up and want to sell you their cards, and typically you can get a pretty good deal on those as well.
100%.
So who'd be talking about our next revenue stream here?
So number 2, and this is probably our most important. I know I said there are no particular order, but if there was an order, this would be number 1, and that would be our online selling, and that goes with eBay, Whatnot, and other auction platforms that exist and other sales avenues online. When it comes to eBay alone, eBay is probably the single most important site when it comes to sports cards. It is a great place for buyers to come and get essentially any card you're looking for, and it definitely has the widest array of product available. Maybe Consi's competing with them, I'm actually not sure on that, but eBay is definitely up there. And then it is definitely one of the best places to sell your cards at the fastest pace for the most return. eBay does have fees that they take, but at the end of the day, it truly is the center of where business is done for cards. Of course, you have your golden auctions, you have your some of the bigger auction houses out there, and of course card shows, but eBay is a great outlet for us, and it's where we move probably 50 or 60% of our revenue. And then we do another big portion on a site called HiBid, where we do our own auctions, and we do a little bit on Whatnot. We did a lot more on Whatnot earlier in the year, January, February, March, but since they've allowed a lot more sellers on, it has definitely gotten a little bit more difficult to make money on there. Just essentially, more competition, more supply, less demand. So there's definitely still money to be made on Whatnot. If you have a good personality and you're able to build an audience, that is a great outlet, and a lot of people make plenty of money on there. But getting into number 3, Quinn will take care of that.
So that would be grading cards. And before we get into that, a lot of this advice is more for like beginners. So if you heard about eBay, this is kind of more for people just getting into it. But if you're just getting into it, a really daunting thing can be grading. Well, there's a few different companies you can use. The 3 big ones are Beckett, which is abbreviated BGS, PSA, which stands for, Professional Sports Authenticator.
PSA, that's all you need to know.
Yeah, pretty much. And SGC. And that's better for vintage cards and vintage trading cards. And this is a great way to essentially add anywhere from double a card's value to dependent on the condition sensitivity of a card. So typically an older card may have a really rough cut, and a PSA 10 is worth 50 times what a raw copy
Or
is
thousands
worth.
of times.
Yeah, whatever. There's some 1986 Fleer basketball cards that are worth $200,000, or they say it is, and it's like a $10 card raw. So
Yeah,
But-
yeah, that's true.
getting further into that, what you would do is go on PSA.com. If you want to make a membership, it is $99 a year, and that gets you the lowest rate grading. You do have to submit 25 cards at a time. Depending on when you see this video, it's either going to be $15 or $18 a piece.
Just a plug real quick. We are going to be offering a grading service with our shop. We have a shop in Northeast Ohio, but it's not out yet. But whenever we put it together, we will put it down below in the description. So stay tuned for that. You may eventually in the future be able to send us your cards and we will send them into grade for you. We may take a $1 or $2 fee, but
Yeah,
that may be something in
something
the
like
future.
that.
Yeah,
If you're just getting into it, that's a great way to kind of put it in someone else's hands to do it.
yeah, for sure.
And but anywho, yeah. So what I would personally recommend is take any given card that you think could potentially grade high, take a really good look at it, either by a loop, magnifying glass, really critique it under a harsh light, and then look up what a 9 is. Don't look up what a 10 is, because I assume every single card ever is a 9 or an 8, unless there's a reason I think it's a 10. I think a lot of people get mixed up where they assume a card is a 10, and that's where the disappointment comes in when you get a 9. You got to assume it's a 9, and if you get a 10, that's great, but if you have a $10 card, it costs $18 a grade, it takes an hour of your time, so let's say your time is worth $15 to $20 or whatever.
Some people more.
Yeah. And then it takes about a month to 2 months to get back. See how much that 9's worth. If it's worth $100, it's a great idea, especially if you think it can get a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
But if it's worth $25, $30, and a 10 is $100, you may want to reconsider your options. Because it's easy, you know, when we initially started grading, we sent a bunch of stuff that probably wasn't worth it at the time, but it's easy to get excited and all worked up. You're tail wagging about grading cards and potentially making money off of it. But you just got to look at it realistically. Look at the hot rookies. Look in the future if, you know, a month and a half from now, we'll be going into, I guess it'd be after the Super Bowl at that point, but
Kind of in the kind of later part of the basketball season,
Yeah.
getting into like almost playoff territory. Not quite yet, but also keep in mind when it comes to grading that if you can send in any given card in your floor, like the worst case scenario is you break even, and the best case scenario
Yeah.
is you make whatever X
it's not a
amount
bad
of your
idea
money.
at all.
That's the best way to do it. And one last tip, as long as you're good with grading there, one last tip, and this is what I'd recommend anyone getting into the hobby just starting out with a low budget. This is kind of like a pro tip here, not something that we put on the list, but is to buy out lower end collections and kind of to do the dirty work. A lot of people don't want to deal with $1, $2, $3 cards. And if you're able to find an outlet or to establish some type of way to sell those cards, it is a great way to make money because you can go to shows or you can buy on eBay or anywhere large lots or large quantities of cards of that type of range, that $2, $3 cards, whatever. And you could buy them for, 10 cents, 5, 10, 15 cents on the dollar and make lots or whatever however you may sell them. That is a great way to make money because of the margin, the sheer margin is so impressive there. So that's about all we got for you guys today. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you guys liked it and you subscribed to the channel. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. But other than that, Quinn, you got anything to add?
Mm-mm.
All right, we will see you guys in the next video.
Thank you all.